Hi, Bo here from High Tech Investment, and welcome back to the channel where today we're going to talk about Trillant and the Trillant platform. And obviously we are looking for information. Actually today I'm able to give you a bit more information than what you have previously seen on our news reports, where we are craving for the information, trying to get some updates on what exactly is happening on the withdrawal with the Trill and a couple of other things within the platform itself. Erik, the CEO, has been extremely quiet here lately, and all the details and information we have actually gotten through either back channels or gotten through the Telegram app, where you can also obviously link yourself up if you are a Trillant member. Now, I have to tell you here also that all the information in this particular video here comes directly from Erik. He is having a bit of a video conference with one of the community leaders, and we have managed to get a hold of this particular one. We are not able to share this one here on the YouTube channel itself, but we are able to share exactly what has been discussed and what has been the outcome. And if you are interested in obviously finding this video, if you are not on the Telegram app and have the link here yourself, all my team members here can send me an email, and then obviously I'll send you the link so you can have more details and information. But I have to tell you again, you have to be one of my team members. Otherwise, I will not be replying to you. So let's try and have a look exactly what has happened and when it has happened. So this came out a couple of days ago here, where basically saying they had a Q&A with Erik. And Erik in this particular video here was extremely open to the questions that was put forward, and actually some of the questions put forward seems to be on everybody's mind. There wasn't that many, but they were very concrete. And one of the things that I really got out of this one here is we got some entire new information about the issues within the platform itself, of why it is so. So the good part here is that it puts everybody maybe a bit at ease after you have seen this particular video here to understand what the issue is. And then also Erik comes up with a couple of things that we have to look forward to here in the very near future in order to accommodate for different solutions. So let's go and have a look and see exactly what part of all the details we're going to look at. Obviously, don't forget the 3 T's here in the Trillant, the Trillant, and the Trillando. So all these things put together is what makes the Trillant basically strong. So where we have our own coin that we are staking and actually getting up to 50% per year. On top of this, we have a stable coin, and that is the stable coin that we don't exactly know when it's going to be released or how it's going to be released. And then we have the marketplace, which is the Trillando marketplace, where you have merchants from around the world, and where you can basically use your Trill within this particular one here. And that is also part of what we're going to be discussing here today. So the main subjects that was basically gone over in this almost an hour long webinar here was the Trill coin listing itself that Erik was discussing and explaining exactly the details and issues with it. It was the UX payout also. That has been delayed for quite a long time now, almost a year. He also talked about the Trillando fraud, so we're going to go in detail also on this. And then obviously last part also restaking, because again we did restake when the platform first was set up. We did it in August, and then after that the coin went up to about 13 cents, and from there on we actually did another restake. So that means that it's coming due somewhere around, I think it's September or October. We still have a bit of time, but that was also some of the questions that was in the Q&A here. So if we start off with the Trill coin listing itself. Now the most part here is what we are getting out from the staking is actually the Trill, so the stable coin, which is 1-to-1 with the US dollar. And the issue that he currently has in here is that he has big issue basically moving money so onto the exchanges in order to cover all the stable coins in here. And the first things he mentioned that they have somewhere around $7 to $9 million on the exchange at the moment to cover all these payments in the near future. And they basically need up to somewhere around 20 to 30 million on the exchange itself. And Erik here explains that within the old Paraiba, now also the new Trillant, so all the members that are currently in here, is around 84,000, so still a very small community. And he mentioned here that if he was supposed to release $500 for each member in here, because out of the 84,000, he mentioned here that about 40,000 has more than $500. And if you do the math, it basically means that if every 40,000, just those, would take $500 out, it will basically be 20 million. So obviously that will be okay for 1 month payment. And after that, there will be pretty much nothing left. So, but he did mention here there will be an opportunity in the future, and basically said the Trill coin will be coming. Now, the reason for why there's not much more in the exchange here is basically covered later on in the video, and we're going to move on to that now because it is very much links with the unique exchange. So the UX exchange itself in here. I just want to let you know that this is basically the money, the stable coin that has to be protected by other fiat money. And obviously, as you can see here, that there's definitely not enough in the exchange right now, and for some reason they can't move the money. Now, the reason for that is because a lot of the money is actually being in a Russian bank. And as you know, Russian banks and Russian companies currently on a sanction. Now, this is not something that we knew. This is the first time we ever seen or heard anything of this sort. And obviously that's starting to make a bit more sense of why things are delayed. What we are wondering here is obviously why has this not been communicated more clearly earlier on, because then people would certainly understand or at least know the facts that lie behind it. Now, Eric is also mentioning here that he has more than 1 billion in the UX exchange. And basically the plans here is to try and move it away from the Russian bank over to a different bank, a new bank basically. So closing one account and opening another one. And he is trying to do that through a German bank solution. But again, it's not so simple. And definitely we can understand that anything that comes out of Russia these days will be under sanctions, will be under scrutiny. And that is basically what he's battling with. And that is also why it is taking a lot longer to move all the different money onto the exchange in order to support the Trill payouts here. So again, first new information that we have of this, and this is a bit of a revelation for us. Definitely we haven't heard anything of this sort before, but obviously it makes a bit of sense now that we know these particular points. The next part that was also basically asked within the community itself here is saying, well, we were in Paraiba and there was a rollover into Trillant. You could then either accept it or not. And it would be up to, I believe it was around 100 days at that particular time, where they could then get their payouts and basically leave the platform itself. And Eric mentioned here again also that it comes back to the unique exchange issue. So where everything is basically locked up in the Russian banks, you cannot move anything. And I understand that that is frustration. It is the same frustration that I myself and a lot of my members here also have, that we simply cannot get the money out. But it gives a bit of a understanding and background now for why we're having these particular issues. Now, he did mention that he is looking into solutions, various solutions, and basically he's mentioning here, he said about 2 weeks in the video itself. But let's say it's going to take 2 to 4 weeks. We know things are going to take a lot longer, especially in the summertime here. A lot of people are away on vacation, so things will slow down. But he will be presenting some new options, and within those new options, there seems to be solutions for basically trying to get a bit of money out in different ways, shapes, and forms. He didn't mention too much exactly of what that was going to conclude or what it contains. And basically he again mentioned that, well, you have the Trill and you can get Trillando. You can go and use one of the around 600 shops that are currently up there. But there is also still quite a bit of fraud in here, and that is why they have pushed on the KYC and they have pushed on the KYB, so know your business. And he made a couple of examples in that particular video here, where somebody has basically set up some fake companies in here and then charge their family members so that Trillant could then pay the family members in here and or the business itself in order to try and get the money out this way. And that obviously is not helping the entire process and locking up a lot of manpower, obviously, to figure out how this particular works. So obviously, this is not a very good option, but I can understand that people are getting a bit inventive. But maybe this could have been avoided if Eric and the rest of the team would have been a bit more open maybe on what exactly is happening. Then people would have a bigger understanding of what is actually going on. But obviously, false claims is never a good thing, and definitely not something that that we approve of here either. We have to wait back and sit and see exactly what's going to happen. So then the last question here that was in was also what is actually happening with our restake of the Trill itself. Don't forget that if you are doing it long term, it is okay for up to 52 weeks in here. And basically what you can do is you can normally go on the platform and buy the 3 coins, but they were out now several months ago. So the only way you can actually restake is get through the coins on the exchanges and not on the platform. So that again here means that your Trill is locked in, but what you can use them for is obviously go shopping in the Trillando shopping market, the 600 shops that you have right now. As restaking is not possible. But again, he mentioned the same part here. So the new option that he's going to try and provide a bit more information about. So that will come out in the next 2 to 4 weeks. And he basically claims here again in the video that is a way where he can figure out where we can make even more profit. And at the same time, we can also do a withdrawal. So we don't exactly know exactly what that contains or how that will work. So we simply have to sit back and wait. He did mention that it's not going to come out in the next newsletter, but will be in the consecutive one. So basically a couple of weeks down the line. But as I said again, there might be a bit of a delay due to everything that goes on in the summertime here at the moment. So obviously, the last thing also that was mentioned, and that was mentioned in the community members, and we fully agree with them on this particular case, is what is needed for the future from Eric and the team itself is some better communication, because it was clear that when people heard from Eric, understood exactly what is the issue, people were basically calming down and having a better understanding of where things are. The money is still there. Eric is still working on it. You could hear the frustration in his voice that he cannot get the money out and basically pay people back and do what he needs to do in order to expand on the Trillant platform itself. And the next part here was also more frequent updates. So don't let it be 3 months every single time. Try and do monthly video updates, or at least release something similar to what we have seen here now with the Q&A, where people can understand what exactly is going on. And that provides at least some kind of relief for people that things are still there, people are still there. It will be actioned eventually. So I hope that this particular video here has been fruitful and you have understood exactly what is happening on the Trillant platform itself. For us, it was definitely a bit of a revelation, but also a bit of a breathing space, now understanding a bit better why things are not happening. And I hope also that Eric learns that communication is the key here to keep everybody calm. And hopefully we will have something new also to tell you in the next couple of weeks. So make sure that if you are a Trillant member already, that you go in and you have a look at the newsletter when it comes out to see what options exactly will be here for the future. So until my next video, see you around. Bye-bye.